Now to a report from the ABC 15 investigators. Take a look at these two men. They were assistant chiefs at the top of Phoenix PD, running critical areas of the department. Tonight, they're the focus of our story. An internal city discrimination investigation found one of them using a racial slur against a black officer and the other not reporting what happened.
ABC 15 Chief Investigator Dave Biskuping got a copy, and he's here now with this exclusive report.
We've spent more than a year reporting on the turmoil and dysfunction at the top of Phoenix PD, and the report we obtained is concerning, not just because of what it says, but because it reveals even more about what's happening inside one of America's biggest police departments.
Well, you're asking me kind of an off-the-wall question.
This is Steve Martos. He's a well-known Phoenix cop as a former public information officer and assistant chief over internal affairs. But here's something that's not well known. 6 months ago, a city equal opportunity department investigation found Martos committed 2 misconduct allegations. The first, during a discussion in a room on the 4th floor of 620 West Washington Street with multiple witnesses, Assistant Chief Martos referred to an African-American employee as Blackie. Now, Martos did not comment for this report. And as for his alleged statements, this community leader says they're clearly racist.
We all know it is, and they can joke it off and say that it wasn't his character, and all the other terminology that they always use, but it is.
Larnell Farmer is a leader with the West Valley NAACP. He's also a retired police detective from Illinois.
Does any of it surprise you?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, and that's the unfortunate part.
Here's the backstory. The racist comment allegedly happened in May 2021 during a meeting on the top floor of Phoenix PD. Here's who was there: Steve Martos, Mike Kurtenbach, Gabe Lopez, John Collins, and Lawrence Hine. They were discussing recent promotions inside the department, including the promotion of Derek Elmore to commander. Now, the 3 assistant chiefs on the right of this graphic, they all accused Martos of saying it. But Kurtenbach stood by Martos and says he never remembered it happening.
It's always important for me to go back in that officer's career and see if those biases were placed on people that he arrested or any cases that they were involved in. Even within the department, internal affairs, you got somebody with that mindset investigating other officers. So how do the investigations go?
It raises much larger, broader questions.
Correct. It does.
That takes us to another allegation from these 3 assistant chiefs. In another May 2021 meeting, they said they were talking about the potential firing of a female officer caught using the N-word on camera. But during that meeting, quote, Martos brought over a picture of her possibly from Instagram and said, "Check her out. She's hot. I'm going to try to save her." Martos denied that too. So did Kurtenbach. But the city EOD department determined that it happened. And EOD also found that Kurtenbach, as the department's second in command, failed to report and act on Martos' conduct.
There was a female officer who called someone on body camera the N-word. She didn't get fired. And this Martos, according to this report, they believe that he said, "No, but she's hot though. We got to keep her." What do you think about that?
I think it's policing. Those biases, they play into all of this stuff.
And now, even more backstory, and this is where it gets complicated. Martos and Kurtenbach told city investigators the 3 assistant chiefs who made the allegations are disgruntled and can't be trusted. Why? They're suing the city and trying to help their lawsuit. The 3 allege the city unfairly blamed, demoted, and scapegoated them after protesters were falsely charged as gang members. And the EOD investigation shows the allegations they made were, quote, otherwise substantiated, and that's because they were deemed untimely and therefore not violations, because they were made a year after they happened. Quote, EOD has found that some of the alleged conduct did in fact occur and would have violated city rules but for the time constraint. Those allegations are being returned to the police department for review and determination as to whether some other policies have been violated.
This is Phoenix, right? This is one of the biggest cities in America, and this is the stuff getting thrown around by the top guys on the top floor. What do you think that says about the department?
I think it says a lot because that old saying goes, the fish rots at the head and it just goes down. So just like any organization, it's only as good as the people that are running that organization.
Now, all of this happened under the leadership of former Chief Jerry Williams, and the city's EOD investigation was finalized in November 2022. That's just weeks into interim Chief Michael Sullivan's administration.
Again, it's going to be interesting to see what they say once this report comes out and which direction they're going to go in. And, I hope and pray that the new chief does the right thing. I'll be surprised. If he does.
I'm investigator Dave Biskuping, ABC 15, Arizona.
So where are the officers involved now, and what do they and the city have to say about all of this? First, in an emailed statement, Phoenix acknowledged the EOD report and said it's part of a larger investigation and it's, quote, premature to draw any conclusions.
Now, but the officers in that story, again, Steve Martos did not comment for this story. He is no longer an assistant chief. A month after that EOD report, he was moved down to a commander position. The city would not confirm the change and the report were related. Derek Elmore, the target of that alleged slur, also did not comment for this story. He's now Phoenix's executive assistant chief, essentially the second in command. Mike Kurtenbach retired from Phoenix PD earlier this year. He was hired by the state education department to work on school security plans. He's hired a lawyer and threatened to sue ABC 15 over this report. Through a state spokesperson and his lawyer, Kurtenbach says he has not been found in violation of any policies, and the EOD report in our story was a, quote, draft document. If you would like to see all of this story for yourself, we have full statements and the EOD investigative report on our website right now. It is the top story at abc15.com/investigators.